Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here, and I waited a day to weigh in on this subject, whether or not we are legitimately getting out of Syria, whether or not this troop withdrawal is real, and whether or not the Kurds are truly going to be slaughtered by Turkish forces coming in on the border, as the mainstream media and the talking heads in large part are going to tell you. Now, number one, let's talk about the Kurdish militias that did take out ISIS in that region. That's real. That's real. But we have to understand that, number one, we went in there in 2012, whether people realize it or not, through Operation Timber Sycamore. We're going to show you that. Number two, the only place we really gained ground was when Russia decided that's enough, we're going to come in and fight ISIS, even though Timber Sycamore was all about overthrowing Assad. But people want to ignore that. And here's the deal. Is Trump really taking these troops and withdrawing them from Syria entirely, or are they going to another region in Syria or perhaps in the Middle East? Here are the type of headlines we're seeing that I think are a ton of Johnny nonsense. You tell me. Trump handing northern Syria to Turkey is a gift to Russia, Iran, and ISIS. Former U.S. envoy says. So I want to point out that it's been a rocky road. Okay, it's been a rocky road with the United States and Russia. As I showed you, it's now been 4 years plus since Russian soldiers joined the fight to actually take ISIS out. And by the way, they did. They took out large swaths that had been controlling the region. Now, of course, our media was like, just who is Russia really targeting in Syria? And here's the thing. They were targeting ISIS. They did take them out. And if you don't believe that, you have to understand there was also a lot of infighting between the United States and the Russians, who were supposed to be on the same side on this one. That didn't make a lot of media coverage. Have exchanged gunfire in Syria more than once. This is the military times. And we didn't hear a lot about the over 100 mercenaries, okay? The over 100 mercenaries that were killed by U.S. troops, okay? That was also not discussed. Okay. Now, I saw somebody post earlier today, an old professor of mine on Facebook, that the Kurds are our largest allies in Syria. Now, again, to some extent, those Kurdish militias absolutely did take out ISIS on those border countries, and the Turks coming in. Will there be ethnic cleansing? I don't suspect that'll be the case. I'm not saying that Kurds won't be killed by Turks. I'm not saying that. But as far as ethnic cleansing, remember, the Kurds have done this to other people in that region. And I'm not justifying any death whatsoever. I'm just showing you how the media spins this type of thing. So before we get into our largest ally, which is Al-Qaeda in that region, I want everybody to understand it's not like Timber Sycamore is a secret. There's even an extensive Wikipedia page where it shows you. I mean, look at all of these sources just on this alone. And it shows you that in 2012, we went in, we started arming people to really disrupt the Syrian region and try to take out Assad. This is what we do. We destabilize regions. And this is never talked about in our mainstream media. Now, I want to talk about another thing that's not talked about, and hopefully it will be once Gabbard gets back into the debates, which she will be in. And again, not here to tell you to vote for Tulsi Gabbard, not tell you she's perfect, but she was spot on here, and she defended it after the fact. I want to put that out there, that yes, our largest ally in the region of Syria is Al-Qaeda and al-Nusra, period. So let's bring it right back here, and watch how quickly the moderator, as soon as she says it, goes to the next.
We were all lied to. This is the betrayal. This is the betrayal to the American people, to me, to my fellow service members. We were all lied to, told that Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction, was working with Al-Qaeda, and that this posed a threat to the American people. So I enlisted after 9/11 to protect our country, to go after those who attacked us on that fateful day, who took the lives of thousands of Americans.
And let's just stop there. You've seen my work. You've seen Fabled Enemies, Loose Change Final Cut. If you haven't, please go to the playlist sections under documentaries on this channel and go check them out, because we have a disagreement there. But they're supposed to be the enemy.
The problem is that this current president is continuing to betray us. We were supposed to be going after al-Qaeda, but over years now, not only have we not gone after al-Qaeda, who is stronger today than they were in 9/11, our president is supporting al-Qaeda.
Thank you, Congresswoman.
Thank you. That's not something we want to bring up. I mean, we'll take Trump on almost anything else, but we can't tell the truth about that. We're not allowed to tell the truth about that. And in the meantime, let's just smear Rand Paul. Rand Paul is pretty much the only senator backing Trump's Syria decision so far. Yeah, where are all these anti-war Democrats that should be supporting Trump on this issue in the very least? Because what they're trying to build, by the way, is a safe zone that can't be bombed by the Turks as they come in. And I just want everybody to go check out Syrian Girl. If you don't know who she is, I'd be surprised. She's now a partisan girl, but you can check her out here. And here is Assad. I think this is all the way back in, when is this? 2014 or 15, warning the Kurds who were, aligning with the United States that no one would protect them except for the Syrian government. Let's play that. You know, this brutal dictator, Assad.
أمريكي لن يحميكم.
It's in another language. It says, the U.S. will not protect you. The U.S. will not safeguard you in the hearts of their laps. The U.S. will put you in their pockets so as to become a battering tool along with their dollars, which they began doing. So you can say what you want about Assad. However, and I forgot to bring this up before, so we'll do it live. We have to realize that last attack in Duma, let's leaked OPCW report. No one talks about this in the United States, but I want people to know that that last attack has now been proven 100% false, and that they had canisters placed there and staged, but those were real missiles we sent in after that Duma attack. All right? The evidence we were meant to see about the Duma gas attack. The OPCW has opened the door to ridicule when the simple truth would have been enough. That's right. They covered it up. That wasn't in the official report everybody got to see. But the real one was leaked where they went over that the attack didn't happen. How about that? So I also wanted to bring up, I did, actually. I shouldn't have done it live. I did have that up there. And again, RT has a really good op-ed. It's very short, that there's an obvious solution to this. My question is, are we actually getting out? And how have we allowed a bloodthirsty mockingbird media and establishment politicians to trick us into thinking that we should remain in Syria? An unjust war that had nothing to do about going in and fighting ISIS and taking ISIS out, and everything to do about taking out Assad and putting in a more friendly dictator in that region. Nick Waits, pretty sure the white Al-Qaeda helmets are our largest ally in the region. That's right, the white helmets. Seeing as we propped up their predecessor in the 1970s to take on the commies. He's talking about the Mujahideen, the Muslim Brotherhood. Just allowed the money trail. It's not even hidden. It's not hidden. And I want to point out, I'm so glad that you brought that up. How they do prop these ideas into our heads and how they are funded. To a guy named Bodansky, Yosef Bodansky, and Bin Laden. Why are we going to do this? Well, he had a book out. This is a dual Israeli-U.S. citizen. In the late 90s, calling out Bin Laden, almost predicting everything that would happen. And here's the thing. Is this in the 90s or was it in 2000? I guess it's just before the attacks. It's prior to 9/11. This comes out. Bodansky actually talks to a guy named Brian Lamb on C-SPAN. We're going to have to go down about 450 plus videos because we do so many videos here about subjects that matter, but let's keep scrolling down. And it's called, now this one's not going to refresh. It's the man who brought us bin Laden, okay, sold us the boogeyman. And he gets called in on, and they ask him about the Muslim Brotherhood and the Mujahideen in the 80s against the Soviets. He's like, well, when it's in our interests. And that was a network set up with bin Laden and the Pakistani ISI. In fact, Pakistan's current president, prime minister, I'm sorry, I'm uneducated on the matter, but leader, actually brought that up in the United Nations speech just a week or two ago. Tony Gosling turned me on to that. And he talked about how, we prop bin Laden and his network up. And we prop up ISIS. And we prop up Al-Qaeda. And then we prop up the militia of the Kurds to fight our old enemy ISIS. Our enemy ISIS, even though they're in Chevy trucks. John McCain suspiciously there with guys that would end up leading it. Al-Baghdadi was in custody prior to becoming the leader of the group. No big deal, just in Guantanamo Bay, just being held also by Israeli forces afterwards. Weird he becomes the leader. But we can't see past that. We have to act like it's bad to withdraw troops from Syria. And again, if you want the scoop, you want somebody that's actually, been in that region, please go check out Partisan Girl. I'm going to try to get her on. She doesn't follow me, but I'm going to hit her up at Partisan Girl, see if we can get her on for 10, 15 minutes to really discuss this matter. I'm also trying to get Patrick Henningsen on of 21stCenturyWire.com, which is an amazing website. Get his take on this. It's important. We can't just let the media and establishment politicians browbeat us into thinking that peace is a bad thing. That's the bottom line for me. So, if you like what I do, if you like what you heard, if you're new to this channel, thumbs this video up, share it on social media, join the Burmish Brigade. Now's the time to hit that subscribe button. You can ring the bell for notifications, which is great, so you can try to come join us live when we do this. There's always a really nice discussion going on in the chat. But if not, everything replays, and you can just hit that star button up top, and then just come back. We do it 3 to 7 times a day. You can also see Loose Change, Final Cut, Fabled Enemies, Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined, and Shade the Motion Picture on this channel for free. Oh, like I said, hit that star button, and then you can just come right back here, and we're doing things on all sorts, from Chinese censorship to Epstein to my first Mixed Martial Mindset podcast with John Fitch yesterday. Please go check that out. It's something really interesting where we not only talk about today's topics, but we also talk about mixed martial arts and what went down over the past weekend. Oh yeah, there's a GoFundMe. This is how I'm doing it. $5, $10, $15 means the world to me. It's how I'm trying to bring you guys a real voice, a nonpartisan voice, a voice that is not about left or right, but about right and wrong. I love you guys, and I will see you on the flip side.